And so, like, what social issues are you passionate about?
I'm really passionate about mental health, ensuring like you're okay. I actually wrote a song that focuses on children's mental health because as a child, I will say like times are really tough and all of the weight of the world is starting to be pushed on the children who really just like their childhood is a lot more limited than it was back in the day. But then there's also stuff like technology that's like making kids grow up faster and all that. And I found I went through a stage where it was just like everything was so confusing and it was really just me. Like I was finding myself. My poor parents had to hear me like having mental breakdowns because you're like trying to like just everything that you can possibly think about, you're thinking about, and it stresses you out.
And so then all of a sudden I hear the door of the trailer as I'm getting the makeup on and my eyes are closed and I'm sweating. I'm getting my makeup on and I hear, wow. So someone just comes and just parks their car in front of the entrance and it's Kevin Bacon going off about this person. And I was like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't find out it's me. I hope he doesn't. And then he sat right next to me. He goes, can you believe that? And he's just staring at me. And I was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, I'm just messing with you. That's the funniest stuff I've ever. And then we started talking about music and him and like the nicest human, most real human beings ever. And at that time I was obsessed with Paramore. And so I was like, oh, what? He's like, what are you listening to now? And then we played it and I calmed down.
You know, I don't know if you know about my hat wall. Are you familiar that I have a hat wall?
No,
okay. I can share it with you guys. But
wow.
This I wanted a hat wall for a very long time.
Look at that.
And this is my hat wall. These are also the kind of the passes when you go to festivals.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's one specific hat because you are talking about hats so much that I can show you.
Nice place.
It's a little behind the scenes of the living room with the Christmas stuff.
There you go. Same as mine.
Yeah, so this one I think will work perfectly with yours, but right here. This is a 1940s rock mountain.
I have that kind of like thing where I can hear, but I have a thing called synesthesia, which is where you can see colors when you listen to music. You can see shapes, you can see lines. For when I sing, I can see lines.
Wow.
And it kind of guides when I sing, it kind of goes like this, and it like an EKG, it like kind of guides. It's weird, but it kind of guides me through when I sing.
Wow, you're not the only one who told me that they actually can see color and they believe that music has a color. And I think one of the colors is black, although black isn't a color because black is an absence of color. What do you think is the worst thing about being a musician?
I think it's different for everybody, honestly, but for me, it's keeping up with my mental health, really. But it's also, I'm very young and I'm going through like all the different emotions and stuff. But I think for me, it's definitely keeping up with my mental health. And
I mean, I love spending time with my family. I think that's such an important thing. I mean, I have 3 animals. I have a little puppy, and then I have a little dog. You might have heard them barking earlier in the video. And then my cat, and then my mom, my dad, and my brother. I think it's really important to spend time with your family. So I love doing that. I mean, I think that's not only really important, but like, you know, like it's really nice to spend quality time. And like, you never know, like every day above ground is like a great day and you don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. So you have to like act as like, you know, as if like today is your last day, you know? So I think that's really important.
That is amazing. That's one piece of advice we should take, that you're never guaranteed another day.
It's very true. Anything can happen. There's so many we don't know. We just have to, but you also don't want to be like a bubble, like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, because we just don't know. I mean, there's,
Tell us about the Sock and Buskin theatrical productions and being a member of the jazz band and singer with the Chatter Talks, an a cappella group. How did that go?
I went to Brown University, and Sock and Buskin was the name of the theater group. And I did a little bit of theater work, mostly just musical theater. And once I graduated from college, I realized that I think my talent really lay in music much more so than acting. And so that's why I ended up pursuing things like that. But the jazz band, it was kind of a fusion band. We played a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And that's how I made extra money during college. It was called Conglomerate. And there were five. It was a 5-piece band, and we played all over Newport, Rhode Island, in the summer between semesters. So it was very cool. Yeah. Most people hear when they hear my voice, and it's like only 2 people in the last 10 years have recognized my voice. One was a banker, one was a waiter, and I said, "You guys are in the wrong business because you."
So, and in March 2022, we honored your mother's fight against colorectal cancer.
So I wrote that song, and I wrote Blue Ribbon, I think in 2021. And I wanted her to hear it while she was, sick and still alive. So I recorded it last year, and I got it finished for her to listen to in October of last year, and she listened to it and loved it, and I'm so glad she got to hear it. And unfortunately, she passed away last December, so that's why I released Blue Ribbon in her honor this March for Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. So the song and the music video for it is dedicated to her and her fight.
So this room, this is an addition to my house that had been completed right before COVID. So it was pretty barren in here. And my wife kept looking at me going, "Are you going to do something with this room? It's so it's so plain." And I finally said, "Yeah, you know what? I'm going to hang up a few of my guitars back here." So actually it started out with some of my most played guitars because I wanted them on hand, but I realized quickly I didn't really want them hanging on the wall either. So now they're kind of a more eclectic mix. So this metallic blue one here is a Epiphone Dot semi-hollow body.
Nice.
I really love that guitar. I played that. I've played that in multiple bands. So that's actually been a road guitar for quite a while. It's still in great shape. It's still ready to go. I just don't play it as much as I used to.
How did you manage to deal with your mental health and your crazy schedule, your lifestyle due to performances, your constant work, your tours, so much?
Yeah, well, it was when we first got signed, I quit drinking and just did drugs. And then that was my coping mechanism for a while was cannabis and some harder stuff. And then, but for the most part, for me, I think that music was kind of like my religion. It was my safe place. It was my go-to religion. So it seemed to come before everything else, thank goodness, and that no matter what was going on, no matter if people were losing it, I never wanted to forfeit the show. I never wanted to forfeit the performance due to drugs or due to mental health. Like no matter what, the show must go on.